We'll just say a few words and then we'll go sharing any insights or questions you have or observations. Yeah, I like to use more this term in bringing these practices and teachings that are not mine. So don't believe them. For the new people, don't believe this, what I'm saying. Be open, try to verify. You can challenge what I'm saying. You can say, hey, why you say that? Or so feel free to do that. It's better to challenge these things and verify and come to your own understanding than have some new belief, you know. Anyway, but I want to introduce more this concept, which was coined, I think it's an ancient concept, but in English, I guess, translated, although when I encountered it was in Romanian, amintire de sine, which meant self-remembering. Self-remembering. I came across this term in the fourth way tradition, Gurdjieff Uspensky work. But then I found out later that this term was in Sanskrit, Atma Vichara, and was translated as Atma Vichara was translated as self-investigation or self-exploration or self-remembering or self-abiding. And people translate this different way. And yeah, I think that if we have a term, then it's easier to speak about this and we all know what this is. And so, yeah, I want to introduce this term more, self-remembering. Yeah, like any useful deep concept, it's hard to say, okay, this means that, because this is self-remembering. It's a little bit like in the fourth way, they had this thing that, like when you say the word truth or love, or sex, let's say truth, love, sex. It depends, many different things depending on the level of consciousness of the person that uses it. So depending on the level of wakefulness, the word truth will be a different meaning, you know, or love or sex or things like that. So self-remembering is a little bit like that. Self-remembering will mean different things depending where we are at on the path. But it can be, in the ultimate sense, self-remembering is that it's our natural state. It's our self-remembering is our true self, our natural state of being, where presence is aware of being here. So being conscious of being here, being aware of being here, being conscious of our existence, and that's what it means. And this is what we are, and this is not a practice. This has always been that. So it's worth to be said. However, these teachings, when we speak like that at the beginning, is not so useful, because usually we are pretty asleep, meaning that we are unaware of our presence and we are identified with thoughts. We identify with thoughts and identify with feelings. So at another level, self-remembering means mindfulness. But Thich Nhat Hanh speaks about mindfulness, and I don't like the term mindfulness, but it's a term. I don't like the term mindfulness because it implies as if you have more mind. You know, it's like my mind is full, but it's not full. When Thich Nhat Hanh describes mindfulness and all this Vipassana Buddhists, they talk about mindfulness. It's not more mind, actually. It's more aware presence. So it's like I'm doing the dishes, and instead of being in the mind, Thich Nhat Hanh was talking about, okay, feel the water, you know, enjoy, no rush. Where are you going? And okay, like going there. Okay, come back here, being aware of this moment and of the water and of a sensation, and my mind goes somewhere, bring it back here. This is self-remembering. This anything to do with when Eckhart Tolle talks about I'm going to record this, guys. I'm going to send you guys later. So, I mean, you can write, sure. Eckhart Tolle talks about the power of now, right? The power of now, and hey, is the now, here and now, and come to what is real instead of in the past and future, and engage the senses. You know, Eckhart Tolle is like the hear and hearing and sensing and looking, like a cat, like a baby. So what he teaches is self-remembering also. So that's self-remembering. So what I described in the guided meditation, these are different aspects of self-remembering. Like being aware of, it's another form of self-remembering is that usually we are disjointed. Our being is disjointed, like fragmented. In the Egyptian myths, they talk, I think, about Osiris or somebody who was cut into little pieces and thrown in the Nile or something. Isis, I think, the goddess, found all the little pieces. It was his mother. I forgot, I'm sorry for the Egyptian mythologists, but anyway, I got the essence of it. The mother or Isis found and put Osiris back together. So put all the members together, remembered it. Meaning that esoterically is that we are, our normal state of being is that the body is here, there is faint awareness of the traffic, and then my mind is 2 years ago with the last breakup, and then why she did that, or this person who said this. So the body's here, partial consciousness, just enough to not be hit by a truck for most of us, and then the mind is somewhere else. Yeah, mind is somewhere else. So we are like a walking zombie. Yeah, so self-remembering will be like, all right, man, here, come back here. Drop the daydreaming fantasy and come back to the now. Bring attention to what is real, engage the senses. This is self-remembering. This is very good practice. Also, in terms of feeling, let's say for the normal state of humanity, let's say the body is here, the mind is somewhere else. My feeling body has a bunch of stuff that are below the threshold of perception. So all these resistances, and I'm churning on this thing that happened, and thinking that I'm unworthy, but I don't like it, so I don't think about this. And so it's all this under the radar tensions and contractions happening. So some aspect of self-remembering is to bringing awareness to all of these three realms at the same time. What I mean by the three realms is that the realm of the mind, the realm of the body, and the realm of the world. So to be conscious to, I guess, the inner world of inner sensations, thoughts, sensations, feelings is the inner world, and the outer world at the same time. To be aware of the inner world and outer world at the same time, which would be so-called mindfulness, or being present, or self-remembering. So I'm bringing this up because, you know, we had this KI module and we are doing meditation, and we are doing processing our guts, and doing psychedelic journeys with somebody, or doing intensive. But this practice of self-remembering, this is somehow, this needs to accompany our waking life in our approach. You know, you don't need to, you can just you don't need to. But I'm talking about in this methodology, to remember to engage in this self-remembering as often as possible, as long as possible. At the beginning, we will do it very little, and we will forget very quickly, and we'll because we are more asleep. The default state is of being unconscious and lost in thoughts and feelings, and then we have traumas and this or that, addictions, and But self-remembering is like a very portable practice. Yeah. So I look at it more like there are three modes. And you know, Buddha was talking about this. He said that like meditation has like 4 different postures, like sitting meditation, walking meditation, lying down meditation. I think that's it. I don't know. So these 3. So basically, let's not call it meditation. Let's call it, there's sitting, self-remembering, presence. There's walking, self-remembering, and there's lying down, self-remembering. So that's what he meant. So in this way, we avoid our being presence work to be compartmentalized. Just meditation, I guess we've done the first half an hour. So the way I look at it, to have this different, to the work to be more practical and portable, I really recommend some frequent or daily formal meditation, closed eye, or, you know, doesn't have to be closed eye. In Zen, they do it sometimes looking down like this, but these are details. Closed eye or lowered eye, not doing anything, just dedicating 50 minutes or 30 minutes or an hour to just this witnessing. That's very beneficial in many ways and spiritually beneficial. And if you are interested in awakening and healing and you are not doing that, then what are you doing? Basically, I want to be straight up here. Yeah, you got to be doing that a little bit. Okay, then there's the setting of processing, like have a session with someone or have a session of self-KI or self-processing. I'm not going to go into it right now. So that's like deeper investigation. That's also self-remembering. KI is aspect of exploring all of this hidden stuff, you know? Okay, so there's processing mode, meditation mode, and I would like to emphasize this like everyday activity kind of self-remembering mode that I would like to encourage. So this way, work, the inner work of waking up and being more awake is not sporadic, and you know, so it's more, yeah. They say that in the 4th way that this growth of consciousness, or I don't know, this growth in being can be measured, frequency, duration, and depth. There are different parameters, like how often during the day, today, how often I came back to the present and as opposed to being checked out all day. How often, how long, and how deep. And this life ongoing self-remembering that I described before, that ensures more frequency of presence. The more, now why do all that? Is that the more present we are, the more awake we are, the more stable we are, and the more less affected by stimulus we are, the more we can enjoy the beauty of the present moment. The less we miss out on life. Also, the more conscious we are, the more present we are, the more stable we are to face some really painful stuff that we have in our subconscious. So, yeah, I think there's any questions or comments or clarifications about this, or anything from the first part where we've done the guided meditation, or anything from the homework, any topic of interest, feel free.